I'm down at a, I'll just call it a shopping centre. There's all these little bubbly machines to get things out of Tomas and Friends engine collection, hey? I wonder what we'll get out of there. It says alloy tops. So it's looking very Tomas and Friends, isn't it, hey? Just going down there, collect the set, and I can see that it's going to cost me $2 a pop. That's the only $2 that I've got there. What's 4 goes? I'm just really wanting to get a Tomas. Be interesting to see it come out. Okay, this is the first one. Childproof thing there, and it's a Tomas! It's a Tomas! Yoo-hoo! Yeah! It's okay, I've settled down, you can come back now. My son ran away when I got excited. Now I'm going to ask my son, can you please open this up? And can you tell me if you think it's a real McCoy toy or a knockoff? He's actually pretty good at working it out. I've got my other opportunities here. I might be lucky and get another Tomas or another character. Ooh, okay, something yellow, is it Ben? Or 10? Oh, whatever that is, I think it's a wonky find. Number 10, which is yellow. Another magical $2. Hope this money's going to the right sort of places. That is the Tomas and Friends Empire, because, well, that's what it's all about. Oh, it's a green, is it Percy? Number 6, it's Percy there. Oh, yeah. In with my last $2 here. Nice turn of the... I love the feel of these machines and the sound. Oh, and it's going to be, it looks like another freaky yellow character. Wow, it's weird, isn't it? Anyway, let's take a look at that Tomas we've got. Okay, he just headbutted it. Something fell to the ground that we're going to take a look at.
Don't even spend your $2 on it.
No, my son's telling me it's a knockoff immediately. How does he know that? Let me just get out of the bag. I don't know if I can get this single-handedly or not.
Look how crappy it is.
In fact, look at the type of bag that it's in. It's in a Ziploc bag. That's quite ominous. And now we can just take a look at this Tomas, okay? I can do some magic tricks like this. Okay, a bit of sleight of hand. And I'd absolutely say that we're dealing with a knockoff here. This is not a real McCoy Tomas. It does have a metal top. Just so you look at all the sides here. It's a bit like the old take and play, but we've got obviously a wheel missing in the middle there. Underneath, I can't see any signs in the flare there of licensing info, and I do believe it'd be some sort of magnetic coupling system. All in all, a very, very sad Tomas and Friends find. And that's what actually fell out of the capsule when my son opened it up, so we don't choke on this Tomas. I'm a bit curious to get Percy out, and that's what we're going to look at. I've got an audience now behind me, wondering what the hell is this guy doing. Okay, I'm getting it out. And now I've got to just get him out of there. I'll just smash that up, look at that. That looks wonderful, doesn't it? And just like real magic, I can give the bag the flick, and there is our Percy there. Now it's very, wow, you look at this, it's I dare say it's based off another engine. Mind you, I reckon they'll all have the same generic cast. Okay, the all-important face, very unusual, and sometimes the unusual stuff in life is the best. Well, let's see if it connects to Tomas. Okay, let's see if these connect. Ah, yes. Ah, okay. Well, they look like a magnetic coupling system, but they don't do anything. Welcome to the dark side. Yeah, so thinking if they are knockoff toys there, the scary part to all this is if I look up here, look how many machines are here, and if I just crank the camera like this that I'm on, and if I tilt it like that, you get a bit of a scope for what we're dealing with here now. Is all this stuff knockoff, or is there some legit stuff stuck in there as well? And maybe the thing I don't really like about this display here, and it's a bit of a cheat in more ways than one, if I come along here, you'll start to see what used to be in these machines, because I have been coming to this area a fair bit of time, and down there is a real McCoy licensed Tomas item, okay, and over there is a Tomas the Tank, and that's another real McCoy, yet what comes out of the machines are fakos. Sadly, that's how the dark side operates. It's always trying to cheat you out of your dough. Let me just look over the card on this here, just see if I can see any registered trademarks to Tomas and Friends or whatever, blah blah. No, it's not shouting at me. Well, that's me screaming Thomas for Friends and the other characters that you could possibly get here. I don't know, all these faces are looking very sameish, or maybe that's different. Whoever they are, I've got no idea. I dare say that's Percy, and of course that one there is Thomas. One part of me is really curious to open up more of these to find out which ones are knockoffs and which ones are real. But I've run out of money, so my investigation basically stops at the Thomas and Friends area. And what is miraculous and amazing is the absolute variety of franchises which are in these machines. You know, it really has me wondering, is all this knockoff, or is some of it real and some of it fake? You know, or maybe I've got to come back here another day and work it all out. Curiously, I do have some video footage from the same shopping centre in the same spot, but this is 2 years prior to finding these little die-cast knockoff toys. The ones they had back then were the little tumbling Thomas. They had like a Thomas face on the encapsulated machine, and I was watching this area over and over as I visit this part of town. I thought maybe this is a bit of a phase and we'd get back to the good TOMY stuff, but the sad part about that is it's been nearly 4 years since I've seen the good licensed TOMY toys in these types of machines, and what was unusual about them was the price would oscillate between, let's say, $2 up to $4, and sometimes it'd be a very awkward $3. But sadly, from what I'm witnessing, it really seems like the people who manage these machines have fallen to the dark side. This will seem a bit rough. I've lost my normal review table and lighting for a short time. After looking at these models while I was setting up the thumbnail, I've noticed the scale of them is actually smaller than, let's say, a Tomas Adventures. So there's a Tomas Adventures that we all know and love. And if I put it up against the Tomas there, we can start to see the differences in scale there. That little knockoff Tomas is actually quite smaller. It's quite unusual, and the more you look at it, it's got the same features and all as the Tomas Adventures. It's got the same lack of painting as well. And it's just one of those very, very curious things, you know. Initially when I looked at it in the store, or should I say the shopping centre where I saw them, there was a few things that I missed out. But now that I bring it home and I can set up against a real Thomas toy, wow, it really starts to be unusual. And I think the other engine that we should take a look at, it's that strange yellow engine. And now I've got it out of its little capsule. Oh, we can see some weird stuff going on here. So I'm up nice and close to it. It says number 10 Murdock. But look at the style of this. Around the back here, it's just blanked off. The magnets in this one, like the other ones, don't work. They're just a shape. And I'm pretty sure that the faces are all spookily similar. Yes, there you go. Look across those faces there. They look to me like the same mould. So it does look like that the Murdock and the Percy have been given the same mould. They're from the same die cast. But it seems Thomas has been given a very special die cast of his own. And it's, Honey, I Shrunk, the Thomas Adventures. That's what that's saying to me. So remember, that represents $2, $4, $6, $8 worth of rotten knockoff Thomas and Friends toys. You'll always get better value from buying the real McCoy Thomas and Friends toys. At least you get the proper number of wheels on a toy, I hope. Let me explain why this video is a little bit different to my normal styles of videos where I make comparisons of fake toys versus real ones. I'm having trouble with these styles of videos being demonetized. I think it's the tagging and title Dark Side is what's triggering this. I've said Dark Side in this video, so I don't think that it recognizes what's being said, although I might be wrong. Well, you're never told. And that's the problem with the system. When videos fail the monetization test, you're never told the reason why, so you never learn from the mistakes that are going on. It's the same with all the videos that I've had flagged and then age restricted. I'm told I'm not breaking any community guidelines, but YouTube just want to hide these videos. It's just astonishing the amount of censorship that is going on by doing this, because once things have been detached from monetization or been flagged, those videos go poof. You'll never find them. But this seems to be the miraculous way that YouTube operates today.